Hello everyone. This post is in response to the video on parental involvement. So some of the key points of the video are that more and more parents are attempting to settle athletic conflicts between their son and daughters and their coach in court instead of the old-fashioned way of just talking it out. So parents are suing these coaches, referees, and even entire school districts on what they believe are perceived injustices on their children. Immediately after I watched this video, I thought about the video that we watched in class. You have these parents who think that their son or daughter is better than what they really are. Bob Jarvis, who's a sports law professor, he talks in the video on a big reason why this is becoming more and more common, these lawsuits, is because of the increase in college tuition and the growing amount of money professional athletes are getting paid. So a parent sees a baseball or football player on TV making over $50 million and they're like, hey, my child can be just as good or even better than that. So once their son or daughter fails to make the team, they blame the coach and whoop, there goes a lawsuit. So parents are going even as far as suing referees and umpires on what they believe are injustices relating to bad calls. And I kind of think that these parents just see an opportunity to potentially make a lot of money and they just take the chance in court. And not surprisingly, most of these lawsuits are thrown out because they lack legal basis. Some of the changes that I might consider after watching this video as a coach is how hard I push my athletes in practice. So the issue is that on one hand, you want to push your athletes past their limits, but then again, if a child gets hurt, the parent might jump on the opportunity to sue a school. So it's kind of disappointing for me as a wrestling coach because wrestling is a contact sport. These kids are battling, they're grinding, and injuries are going to occur. But, in order to develop these athletes at a higher level, they kind of have to practice and wrestle with intensity. But now I can't help but think about, the parents and the possible ramifications that can occur if, their child gets hurt and they want to blame the coach. So finally, what suggestions do I have for coaches in the field? Well, a suggestion that I have for coaches is to have as much ongoing communications with parents as possible. So as coaches, we sometimes don't really try to seek parents out that often. We usually communicate with them at the beginning of the year, and then we don't really talk to them much after that. It's usually when a parent has a problem, is when we kind of talk with them or communicate with them. So I think that by coaches being the ones to actively seek parents and having an ongoing communication with them throughout the year, it can possibly prevent some of the issues that are evident in the video. This can be as simple as a phone call or an email just to, check with the parent mid-season and just see that, make sure that their child is having a positive athletic experience, and the parents don't have any problems. I believe if a coach actively seeks out and communicates with parents, it can, any problems that or issues a parent may have, they can be addressed early on instead of them, growing into a bigger problem or even a lawsuit. So that's it, and have a good one.